Hey everyone, Ian King here with your weekly Smart Profits Daily YouTube video. And in today's update, I'm going to talk about non-fungible tokens or NFTs. What are they? Why are people going so crazy about these new blockchain-based technology? But before I do that, I would please ask you, if you like the content that we're delivering, please go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to our webinars, and also, if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. And before we start talking about non-fungible tokens, let's just talk about why we're investing in blockchain and why it's disruptive and how it kind of mirrors other technologies in the past. So blockchain is basically a general purpose technology. And what a general purpose technology is, it's a new innovative way of doing something or a new invention that changes both society and economies alike. Now, if you think about general purpose technology in the past, some great examples are electricity, railroads, the automotive. More recently, you've got the internet and smartphones. These are general purpose technologies that are just massively disruptive. They're creating new types of economies, creating new types of businesses. And we're seeing the same thing happening with blockchain. So the blockchain as a technology first emerged 10 years ago. And the simple way of explaining a blockchain is that it's a way to keep track of digital things without needing a centralized intermediary. Okay, so if you think about Bitcoin, you can send a Bitcoin to someone as easy as sending an email, and you don't need a centralized intermediary like a bank to approve that you've sent something of digital value. You can also hold this digital value, and the decentralized network of Bitcoin nodes will recognize that you own that value. So if you want to spend it, they can just check your Bitcoin wallet history and you can go ahead and spend it. So that was the first use case of blockchain, was Bitcoin. Now, the second use case came about 5-6 years ago with the launch of Ethereum. What Ethereum did is it took the same properties of Bitcoin and allowed you to write smart contracts on that. So Ethereum has a programming language that says if you spend it at such and such place or certain conditions are met, it will automatically create a transaction for you. And this Bitcoin doesn't do this. Ethereum allows for this type of programming language. And so it creates all these new use cases for an underlying blockchain, because now you have what is like a smart currency. Okay. And so we're seeing growth in what's called decentralized finance, which is basically taking the traditional finance world and putting it on blockchains and doing things like trading and making loans in a way that don't require a centralized intermediary, which I think is an existential risk to banks. And now we're seeing some more use cases. So more recently, the big use case is what's called a non-fungible token. Okay, a token essentially is a blockchain-based thing of digital value, and that can be tracked on a blockchain, a decentralized ledger, and can be sent and transacted with in a way that doesn't need a centralized intermediary. Okay, that's what a token is. A non-fungible token is one that has very unique, specific properties. Okay, and fungible tokens are like Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're fungible. They're basically the same thing. If you go to a store and want to spend Bitcoin, it doesn't matter who the owner of the Bitcoin is, because the store manager knows that they can take the Bitcoin and it's fungible with other Bitcoin and other dollars and whatnot. Now, a non-fungible token represents a digital asset that has very unique properties. Okay, so some of the big use cases that are coming with non-fungible tokens, which we've already seen, is that the NBA is taking video clips of games and they're selling them to collectors. So people are paying to have a video clip of a LeBron James dunk. And then these collectors can take that video clip and resell them. Now, the beauty of doing this and making it all digital is that the creator of the original token, which in this case is the NBA, they own the license to it, can partake in any future transactions. So if the NBA creates this video clip, and let's say I buy it for a couple $100, and then I go to sell it for $1,000, the NBA knows that another transaction on that same video clip has happened because the blockchain is tracking it, and they can participate in future sales of the thing that they created and have the licensing property to. Now I'll tell you where this is going to get big, because we're starting to see digital goods like music and obviously video clips and things that happen in digital video games be put on non-fungible tokens. And it changes everything for the entertainment industry because music, for instance, if you're an artist and you have a new song and you put it on Spotify or Apple iTunes, these platforms pay the musicians only 0.003 to 0.005 cents for every download. So that means they have to have millions and millions of downloads to actually, make a decent earnings. And, I'm not saying that musicians are all poor. It's just that most of their earnings now currently come from endorsements or live music. But this is actually going to allow them to have more ownership of the digital items they create, and it's going to move the control away from the platforms. And I think we're going to see a similar disruption happen not only to Spotify and iTunes, but you're going to see content providers, producers that make movies and other series move away from platforms like Netflix, yes, believe it or not, and be able to sell those digital items directly to viewers and not need viewers to pay, the Netflix monthly subscription. Now, Netflix is smart. They already invest in their own movie studios and they create their own series. So they're creating the content themselves. So it might not move the needle as much on Netflix, but some of the other platforms, that are just publishing or not investing in the actual content will have a more difficult time. And I think music is probably the big use case for it, considering how artists make very little money from the songs they produce. So this is a huge use case for blockchain. It's a general purpose technology that is just disrupting many different business verticals. And I'm really excited to see what happens. There are a couple of companies that I've been focused on in my crypto newsletter, and really excited to bring that to readers of that newsletter in the next couple of weeks. So that's it for this week's video. If you have any history with NFTs or blockchain, love to hear, hit the comments below and like our video. If you like our content, it helps us get this message out to other viewers as well. Have a great weekend and we'll speak to you next week. Thank you.